It's national meets regional. It's Sidewalks Entertainment, the long-running celebrity, music, and art series. Join us for a new path to arts and entertainment.
Our guest today is an actor and a director who has a long list of credits to his name. He's probably best known for his role in Stanley Kubrick's war film, Full Metal Jacket. And he's with us today to talk about his feature film, Jobs. I'd like to welcome Matthew Modine to Sidewalks. Hey, Matthew, welcome to Sidewalks.
Good morning, Cindy.
It's great to have you with us today.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to talk to you.
So I know that you are from a large family. I think you are the youngest of 7. You know, big families are just not as common as they once were. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what it was like to grow up with the big family?
Oh, it was wonderful. Being the youngest, you learn to avoid the mistakes of your older brothers and sisters, and you get away with murder. And you know, when you have because I'm a father of 2 children. When you have a child, the first one that comes, every fever, every cold, every sneeze is life and death. And then when you have the second child, you say, oh, it's not so bad. Remember when they got sick? And so you don't worry as much. So you imagine by the 3rd child, the 4th child, the 5th child, the 6th child, the 7th child, growing up, I was like a weed. You know, it was like, he'll stop bleeding. And it was a great childhood. And my father was a drive-in theater manager, so in addition to the big family, I had the place to escape was to run to my dad's drive-in and watch movies. And I'm sure that's why I wanted to be somebody who worked in the motion picture industry.
When did acting sort of become a part of your life? Like, when did that kick off for you?
I think it was, I saw a documentary about the making of Oliver Twist, and I felt like I identified with the people, not as actors, but as just children. I felt like I was one of those ragamuffin children. The only thing that I wasn't doing was singing and dancing. So I convinced my dad. We were living in Orem, Utah at the time, and the drive-in that we had was called the Geneva Drive-In. That's long gone, been torn down. But I convinced my dad to let me take tap dancing lessons. So I started tap dancing lessons and joined the Glee Club in school. And then when I got into junior high school, I started doing plays. In high school, doing plays. And then when I was 18 years old, I decided that I really wanted to try my hand in this game, and I felt that if I came to Los Angeles that I wouldn't have success, that I needed to go to New York City, that's where all the real good actors came from. And I moved to New York City and studied with a great acting teacher named Stella Adler. And I think the best advice she gave me right in the beginning was that she said, if you came to my class to be a movie star, you should get up and leave right now. I don't teach that. She said, if I'm lucky, I'll teach you to be a human being. And
wow.
I've been trying to learn to be a good human being for 30 years now.
That's powerful. Wow. Let's talk about your feature film, Jobs. Of course, this film is the story of Apple co-founder Steve Jobs. Tell me about kind of where the story picks up and about your character.
Well, I play John Scully, and John Scully was a person that worked for PepsiCo that Steve Jobs asked to come and become the CEO of Apple Computer. I met John Scully. He's a very nice man and who loves Steve Jobs very much. And he said to me that he should have never taken the job, that he was an advertising guy, a marketing guy, and he wasn't somebody who was a corporate kind of guy, somebody who becomes the CEO of a computer company. He was an analog person, not a digital person. And but he took the job, and unfortunately he was the CEO who is considered the man who fired Steve Jobs from the corporation, from the computer company that he created.
So was there anything that surprised you as you kind of learned about Steve Jobs, you know, for this film? Anything that stood out to you as, wow, I wouldn't have thought that?
I didn't know he was such an emotional person, you know, and displayed what we might consider sociopathic behavior, you know, antisocial, explosive, dangerous, angry, bitter, but at the same time somebody who was trying to be empathetic and soul-searching, and I think there was just great conflict in his life. I mean, a person whose yin and yang were in great conflict with one another, you know, that he wanted to be altruistic, but he was somebody who was xenophobic.
He is certainly a great loss to this world in terms of everything he's done for technology.
Yeah.
As we close, do you have any career advice for those rising young actors out there who might be looking to try to come in behind you and kick off a career in movies and television and
it's the same,
everything else?
The same advice I often give young actors when I teach classes in New York is that acting means doing. So what are you doing? And you have to do it, you know. So so often people say they want to be movie stars, or they want the success without investing the time. And one of the things that I learned from Stella Adler was that what we build our house on is a foundation. What the pyramids were built on is a foundation. And the Egyptians understood that in order for that tremendous pyramid to be able to stand the test of time, all these thousands of years that it's been standing, is because of that foundation. And so that means reading plays about understanding where it is that we came from, that helps us to understand why we're here at this moment. So reading Shakespeare, reading Odets, reading Arthur Miller, Sam Shepard, those things that came before us help us to understand who we are at this time, at this moment. And the more you read those plays and understand those things, they fill you up and they empower you, and they give you strength as an artist. And you can do that on your own, reading the plays, or you can get a group of people together to read plays together. And you know, this week I'll play Hamlet, next week you play Hamlet, and just to get an understanding of that material. And it gives you strength, and it gives you focus and direction.
Matthew, thank you so much for being with us today on Sidewalks. That was great advice. Look forward to the next time.
Thank you very much.
Wish you all the best.
Thanks, Cindy.
For more full-length celebrity interviews, visit sidewalkstv.com.